tupu mai au ki tāmaki o Waitakere. Engari, noho ana mātou ki konei i tēnei wā mō ngā tau e rua kua pahere. Ko Bradley Anderson taku hoa no kaikohe ia. We have a 5-year-old, nearly 5-year-old girl, Carol Marie Paya Anderson. He kaiako au ki te wharekura o Mauao, ko te hākinakina me te reo Māori aku marau I whakaako. Brad, he's a strength and conditioning coach for the Blackburn Sevens team, and that's the reason why we moved here to Tauranga, was to pursue his career. He kai kei aku ringa, I think that whakatauki is quite empowering. It gives you courage to be an opportunist. The kai may represent a relationship, it might represent your sporting career. Not food as such, it's all the fruits that you gather from those experiences or those choices you make. My family is a very sporting family. So I played touch at a high representative level. I was also playing netball. Didn't make it to a certain point and I was like, I'm going to play rugby. And so I played Auckland right from 16 all the way through, and so in that there's been lots of learnings. I stopped playing 2 years, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And so I switched over from playing representative rugby and now I'm a referee. Through my experiences with sport and at that high performance level, you have to learn about how good kai or good nutrition practice supports your performance. So me growing up, I always saw my parents in the kitchen. They always cooked a meal. We didn't go without kai as far as I can remember. And then in that, now thinking back then, there was, skills and learnings and tikanga and all of that learnt by observation. Tikau marua ngā heke? Wow, katoa. So I stepped into that space already knowing a few key points about, eating good kai, whereas others I noticed that actually they didn't have that pukenga or they didn't have that knowledge around prepping kai. Or fruit, for example, are a good alternative to getting a sweet fix from, say, lollies or low sugar something, The value and the importance of knowing what good kai does for you physically, I think it's been such a core value between Brad and I. And we always have talked about making sure that our girl gets a good kai in every day. I guess challenges come in different shapes and forms for families, and they're really complex these days. Brad and I have good earnings with our respective careers, but we struggle with those stresses of providing kai, or even the convenience is such a raru for whānau. So with Brad and I, when we think about maintaining a balance in our busy lifestyles, we put value into making sure that we have a routine. We wake up, we have scrambled eggs, toast, fruit is our staple in the morning, however that's cooked. She's a treat every day, but that is okay for me because I know she's had a good breakfast. Puna reo have good nutritious kai too through their kids camp program. And I learned how to stretch what we had in the cupboard, in the fridge. My sisters would come over with lunch every now and then, and Ringa would just open the fridge and see what was on the shelves and whip up something beautiful for lunch, you know. And in that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that, you know. And I'm going to do that next time. Yeah, my grandmother, she's got a farming background. And so our family's, you know, 3 veg, meat type of family. We keep it really simple. But her, she's 1 meat, 7 veg, you know. You gotta eat everything that she makes. And it's all really beautiful kai, like, you know, kamo mashed up with butter and potatoes 5 ways, or and salads galore. So, and everything came out of her garden, and I think she never let us prep anything. She never let us do dishes, because that was her way of showing manaaki in a way that she knew that her whānau was getting fed, you know. Yeah, so my nanny would tell me little tips and tricks along the way, like, doesn't matter if she doesn't eat the beef or the meat inside you, as long as all the vegetables in that are juicing, you bring that juice and pour it onto her mashed kumara or whatever, you know, or blend it all together so that it becomes a wholesome meal without her knowing that she is eating that. She was and still is a living example of what our tupuna would have done. The tradition, I think that's, you know, that's our tikanga for the whānau. It's to make sure that none of that is lost through what we've come from.